Well, in here, get me, will you? Stephen. Cheer up. Stephen. Hold on, Jackson, don't want to that.
Testing 1, 2. 1, 2.
Well, in here, get me, will you? Stephen. Cheer up. Stephen. Hold on, Jackson, don't want to that.
Testing 1, 2. 1, 2. One, two.
should have loved you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. Well, you know that was the last thing on my mind. I should have loved you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. Well, you know that was the last thing on my mind.
Big round of applause there for my old friend Joe. And Kate Neal phones are there to you all. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome Peter Hayes this evening. This is a wonderful evening for Peter. Would you give him a round of applause, lads? That's very poor for Peter. Please. You miss it.
With a dollar in my hand and an aching in my heart, and my pockets full of sand, I'm a long way from home, right here, and I miss my loved one so. In the early morning rain, with no place to go, I'll run with number 9. He said, oh, said to go. And I'm stuck here on the ground. And I'm stuck here on the ground. Oh, the darkness I can't see. You can't jump to get free. Like a free trade. So I'm desperately on my way. In the early morning rain. In the early morning rain. With a dollar in my hand. And an aching in my heart. My pockets full of sand. I'm a long way from home, and I miss my loved one so. Early morning rain, with no place to go. In the early morning rain, with no place to go.
No, let him work away there, Peter. Turn around there, Peter, and will you wave to your friends? And just remember about the turn, Peter, years and years ago, as you led the Sally Ann.
What about that there, huh? What did you say that time? We got to come up when we go to the raven. It's a play. We will have the Jesus give the prayer folk to the place. Hallelujah! There you are. All right. Next week.
Don't give him one.
In the
over here for a second, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the best of order now, please. As we're all aware, tonight Peter has received his confraternity medal for 60 years loyal service. And a round of applause for Peter. But what I would like to say is that one fine day, a long time ago, Peter decided that he would help to spread the faith when he was in Liverpool. And on that particular occasion, he went off with the Salvation Army because on Good Friday there was plenty of black puddings, rashers and sausages, so he thought the good Lord would forgive him for the one day. So, as I hear you giving me the old call over, I'll ask Peter then to sing a little song here now at the moment. So would you give him a round of applause, please?
Oh, American, he landed on Erin Green Soil. He gave the Killarney wheaten laughter and smile. How can you buy, he said to his guide. I'll tell you how you can buy, he replied with a smile. How can you buy all the stars in the sky? How can you buy those blue Irish eyes when you can buy those wonderful things? Then you can buy Killarney. Deserving soul, I'll forgive with a smile. The emerald, the shamrock, the blarney. When you can buy all those wonderful things, then you can buy Killarney.
We have them. Excellent. That's just a little sample of what's to come this evening, all the way from the London Palladium.
Every night I'm sitting by my window, staring out the lonely avenue. I'm watching lovers holding hands out loud with, singing about the things we used to do. I'm thinking about things like a walk in the park, walking, like a kiss in the dark, walking, like a sailboat. Come when the other fella comes and sing a whistle, when the whistle player turns up. Must be drunk or drunk.
I'll have got no man just a gas. I asked you. I have to get one of these. I wait up so long.
Oh, look at the smile. Hey!
I will wait, John, to cut me nice. I have to wait for me nice.
Wave at Peter, lads. On, Peter, on, wave.
Where it began was in the spring. And spring came summer. The company will talk along. Touching walls, reaching out, touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline, the good times never seem to go. Well, I'm feeling alive. Good night. They'll see slowly taking away from me. Now it hurts. I surely are. How can it hurt when I'm always
Come up here, Peter. Peter, what we're going to do here, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is we're paying tribute to a very great friend of ours, a wonderful citizen, a great sportsman, but above anything else, a great friend. Now, Peter, I'm going to try and go back over your career, and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and I hope you haven't your hearing aid in. He's in contact, but I'll give you this microphone, Peter, in case you want to speak back to me. So, first and foremost, Peter, when you were in England many, many moons ago, you stayed in Liverpool. And when you were in Liverpool, Peter, you stayed in a place called Bootle. And there, I believe, the landlady's name was Mrs. Armstrong. But now, Peter, I have news for you this evening. Because, Peter, we have a young lady here this evening who is all the way from Liverpool. And I'll call on Miss Beryl Armstrong, who has just come in today. And here she is here, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Liverpool. Well, Beryl, you're very welcome, love. And when did you get in?
I just arrived in today, and Peter, you don't know me, do you? But from stories I've heard, you know my granny very well. I don't know whether to call you Peter or Granddad. But I'm really honoured to present you with this nice trophy from our family in Liverpool.
All right. Peter, thank you very much, Beryl. And it says, presented to Peter Hayes to certify his diploma as a member 60 years of the Confraternity of the Holy Family. St. Alphonsus Church, Limerick, 1927-1990, from Mrs. Armstrong and all her family in Liverpool. Well, Peter, have you anything to say to this lovely plaque from Mrs. Armstrong?
Well, Mick, I stay here. And you'll have to fill it all now for me. Oh, my heart was broken, but what did I? Some pride inside me has broken. I do my best not to bide by and by when the fine and farewell must be spoken. I join the Legion, that's what I'll do, and heal some far distant region, but human heart shall stand and true. I will start my life on you. Goodbye, time. I bought a bottle like where all is over and more kind than to leave behind. And so I go to buy the Sabbath gold. I'll be sometimes met by the girls I kiss. In some Abyssinian Frenchman, I will do my bit. I'll buy for the flag if I must. Where the deserts and the nights and handy, I'll be full of grace. You won't see my heels for the dust. I'll do or die. I know the reason why when told. I'll do their hand more kind than I leave behind. Goodbye, goodbye. I wish you all a lot goodbye.
Thank you, Peter.
This is your line.
Well, now, Peter, there is another occasion this evening, and apart from you being a recipient for the 60-year medal, we're also very pleased to tell you that you are now an honorary member of your first or second or third love. Excuse me, please. And we call on our lovely little boy here, the future of St. Mary's tomorrow, Joseph O'Donnell, Joe, to come up and present you with your right hand cap. Isn't that lovely? Look at this. Well done, Joe. Well, Peter. What do you think, Peter? What do you always say, Peter? Blue and...
What? White tights, blue and white, just this, and blue and white shop.
Well done. Thank you very much indeed, Joseph. Thank you. There you are now, Peter. Mary and Betty, Peter is worried at the moment, but I'm sure you'll roll on with us for a minute. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when Peter decided to leave Cray Lane School, it wasn't by his own choice. Because Peter was expelled for hitting the teacher that time. But no fault to Peter. So Peter decided then that he would embark on his career as an industrialist. And his first job, Peter was working for a company called Cantrell's, just down around the corner there. And Peter had a lovely little job that time, where he was delivering straw and hay and oats and everything else. And I have very good news for Peter this evening, because we have here, by very special request, from the old Mr. Cantrell's grandfather, who is 79 years of age and is in a place called Chinakala, which is like the east coast of Java. And he has a little present here this evening, and I wonder if we can bring that little present in this evening. The present for Peter. So put your hands together. Here you are, Peter. Now, Peter. Peter. Now, Peter, that is a phone from the horse you had 64 years ago. That's the best of order, and it brings back very happy memories to Peter. Peter doesn't know the horse doesn't know Peter, but nevertheless, there's a great friendship. Thank you very much indeed. Well done, lad. And that is definitely original. Thank you. John, will you look after Betty now for a minute? Now, ladies and gentlemen, again we go on that little bit further, please. And if you can settle down just for a minute, folks, you can talk for the next 12 months, but if you give Peter his just a half an hour. So we saw the little pony there, and that brought back happy memories. But once again, from Cantrell Company, they have left Peter in their will something which is very, very important. And I'll call upon young Dewey to bring him a present that was left in the will to Peter. And this is Happy Days again, Peter. There's the harness. Congratulations. Turn around there, lads, and face there.
I'll bring it to him next to me.
I'll be shot now at the hay shed. Well, Peter, I have news for you because we're not short the hay shed, but we have the hay piece behind the counter, the bag of hay. Here you are, Peter. Now we'll go on a small bit further, ladies and gentlemen, and on the first day of Peter's visit into this life, we have just one little thing. I want Peter to do something for me. Peter, will you just tell us what you said when you led the Salvation Army down the streets of Liverpool? What did you say?
I said to give a heart to Jesus and give the prayer book to the preacher.
And now, Peter, before you go, I have Father Egan here this evening. Father Egan is here, the spiritual director of the confraternity, and he'll be delighted to hear you say those lovely words. Ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Father Egan. Oh, Peter. Welcome, Father Egan. You're very welcome, and I'm sure you heard Peter's confession there, the Salvation Army.
Salvation Army. This Peter, tell us more about the Salvation Army.
Like this. One age they had no place to go. They had no place to go. There was only one place and they could take them. Now that was the Salvation Army that put a lie down a bit away. So we got, they looked after me well. So the following morning then, I disappeared then.
And Peter, what about the Good Friday rashers and sausages and black puddings?
Oh well, at that time I'd get you in the water, I'd give you the hand.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and privilege for me to welcome Father Egan here because the whole occasion this evening is the 60 years conferring of Peter's loyal service and dedication to Mount Alphonsus. And I think it's a wonderful gesture on behalf of our spiritual director to come down here this evening. And I believe, Father, you may have a small little sermon you might like to perform.
Well, indeed, Peter was up with us tonight, and I just looked up the book, the section book, to discover that Peter really never misses. He's there every week. He's one of these lads, you know, you can trust. There's a great sense of fidelity there, a great sense of loyalty, and I'm delighted to be presenting Peter with the 60 years Jubilee ribbon as a testimony that he has been a faithful member of the confraternity for 60 years. And now, and Peter, as I look around me here, I see some of these fellas examining their conscience.
Right, please. Thank you.
And Peter, I'm giving you a special job tonight now, seeing that you did so well with the Salvation Army, dealing with the Salvation Army. Surely to God you'll be able to deal with these fellas here. And I want you to have every one of them up now next Tuesday night. Tuesday week. Tuesday week, you'll have them up, won't you, Peter?
Well, Father, I'll do my best.
You'll do your best. And now I'll let you all see the ribbon that Peter has got. That's now the 60-year ribbon in the confraternity. And it gives me great pleasure now to give this again. He got it tonight in the church, but again, I just would like to give it to Peter again, and I'll impose it upon him.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Father Egan. And just to explain that Father Egan had a very strenuous evening this evening. He broke a meeting to come down, and I think once again we should put our hands together for this noble man for what he has done for us. Father Egan.
I'll be back again now, Peter, to present the special ribbons to all these other fellas.
Yes, thank you once again. Many, many thanks. I wonder if Aidan there would give us a little tune there, and just to get the old ball rolling there. Thank you very much, Father Egan. Jimmy Dewey is a volunteer for next week. Fair play, Jimmy. So what about a little song now from Peter once again? Right?
Was that a campfire a concert on a lonely western trail? The singers came from lands across the sea. One sang a song of Scotland on Loch Lomond bonny banks. The other sang an English melody. Then an Irish lad stood up. Now I'll sing you a song of Ireland, where the three-leaved shamrock grows. There is no place like old Ireland anywhere you go. With its valleys and it is, and the sweet winding there, it's a path where to paradise. So my heart will go back to that dear little shamrock. Killarney, for you I must die. And 'twas there I was born, on that bright harvest morning, and this year I am longing to die.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we'll continue on again with our little red book, Peter. Back here, Peter, come up here. You're not finished at all. The girls have been looked after, Peter. The girls have been looked after. Come up here, Peter. Don't be worrying at all. Now, folks, just after that run down there by Father Egan, there's just another little thing we'd like to say. We have another lad here with us this evening, and we're honoured to have him here, and that's Mr. Jerry Moore, the President-elect of the Munster branch of the IRFU. Now, Jerry Moore has very kindly condescended to come down this evening and to have a word here with our guest artist, our star, my host, Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, would you put your hands together, please, for Mr. Jerry Moore, the President-elect. Jerry Moore. Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, best of order, please, for Mr. Jerry Moore.
Well, what I can say is, as a rugbyman, the Hayes Day is synonymous with rugby in Limerick. Peter has been a lifelong supporter of the game, and I couldn't be more privileged and proud to stand by him here tonight and to say, well done, Peter. You've been a credit to the confraternity, a credit to St. Mary's, and a credit to Limerick. And in the past we have in Thomond Park, we now and again we make freemen of Thomond Park. We've had 3, I think, in the past. Not mercy, Tom Clifford was our first, Sean Healy was our second, and I think it could be the late Tishy Ochmuty was the other. Now I would like to make Peter Hayes the 4th freeman of Thomond Park. And that includes the seat in the stand. Again, thank you very much, Peter, and please God, when I am president of the Munster Batch, I come down to you again.
Many thanks, Jerry. That was absolutely excellent. Thank you, Jerry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Peter was working there in Birmingham, and he also had the lovely digs over there. And so good was the food that on Monday he would have chicken and cheese. On Tuesday he would have beans on toast. Wednesday he would have whiting. Thursday he would have cheese and beans. And sitting down one evening on Friday night, a knock came to the door, and the landlady said, Peter, who do you think that is? I don't know, says Peter, but it isn't the butcher anyway. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the finale of this little red book, when Peter was born some few days ago, and he came in and he first saw the light, we had a lady there on that particular morning. Now, she's no longer with us, but we have a little souvenir of that wonderful day, Peter. We have here a lady who is going to present you with the first napkin you ever had in your life. Now, Peter, the first napkin, and Mrs. Considine is presenting you with this... What are you doing to me? So there we have, ladies and gentlemen, a very brief synopsis on Peter and This Is His Night. Sorry for this note, nothing mentioned. So, we're going to finish now, ladies, and I'm asking you now, and I'm going to thank everybody who came down and helped to make this night an enjoyable one. Peter asked me, was the horse outside, he wanted to take it home. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I thank Father Egan for being here, Jerry Moore. I thank each and every one of you for all you've done to make this a happy night, because the reason behind this is we want to say, Peter, we love you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have Hannah now go and in there will give us a little tune. Right, lads? Peter Hayes, come on, a round of applause for Peter. Thank you, Father Egan.